Hey, J-Bros popping in here. So, I was meaning to get some gutters in, and I had a guy lined up to do it, and he's just been so busy, and I was gonna have seamless ones up, but by the time he gets here and whatnot, I said, the heck with it, I'm just gonna put up seamed gutters. So right now, last night when we got back from the store, we had put this one up, and we got to get that one up there. Right now what the game plan is, what I'm going to do with the mini skid is, obviously my gutter will go back up on the side here, straight down here, but I am going to do an underground trench to PVC and run it down under the ground like so, and over to here. And if you can see the drop off, why this is such a good spot, they've got like a angled, well, at the end of a PVC run they have got an angled pipe that's kind of basically like a culvert. So I'm gonna normally I would run this to a leach pit, but being I've got such a good drainage flow here, you can see the grade. So from up there, I'm just gonna trench it out basically like a foot in the ground all the way down here to about, I'd say about this spot with the mini skid. And that way when the water comes off of there, it's gonna run straight down here and get over here. Right now, you know, obviously the roof is just, you know, there's just a lot of water that comes in this corner, and it's just been going right in that one spot, it's getting nowhere. And my patience level for that water running there, and it's just bad. Let's just say I just need to get that water drained away. But I'm gonna fire up the mini skid, see if I can do this with the 4-foot bucket. If that doesn't work very well with the 4-footer, I will pop over to the smaller bucket for digging. But yeah, that's what we're up to right now. Yeah, let's get going. Yeah. Excuse me. Before I get rolling here, I just wanted to show you a quick idea of the parts that I'm using and what I'm doing. I've done multiple of these. I've not seen any failures whatsoever. Some other people got some YouTube videos on how to do French drains and or underground drains. But what I'm basically doing is I have this attachment right here for this setup, and obviously downspout would be right here, you know, connecting up there. So just as a visual, you got the pipe from the downspout. This is just an extension for up top. That just basically goes into this portion here. And the reason why this style of attachment works so well going into the ground and for drainage is not only does this act as a leaf catcher for going under the ground, but this also acts as a vent, so the water flows super good through there. Because if it's just like sewer venting, you need venting to make the water flow better. But that's why I like this particular idea. And then I found this PVC coupler. This is basically a 4-inch to a 3-inch, because I like to use Schedule 40 piping for underground. And what's so nice about this one is that this portion does not attach to anything. It just slips in there and sets in there. So what's nice is as this is in here like so, this is flexible, and basically you can remove this after this is installed, so you don't have to take this out. And obviously this pipe will be hooked to 90 going under the ground to drain it to the direction you want, but this can get removed because obviously this is flexible here where you can stretch that out a little bit, and then that can get removed. You can clean it. Let's say the pipe under the ground gets plugged, which there's really no reason why it would. Yeah, you can clean it out. So it's just a super simple design. And I'll do a breakdown if anybody cares, just briefly. This is more about the mini skid than it is the gutter, but I thought this is just kind of cool DIY project. Even if you don't even have a mini skid, dig this by hand, whatever. But yeah, all relatively simple, all relatively cheap. That way, you know, because I'm gonna have a patio here. Well, what do I want? I don't want a friggin' gutter running water over the top of my sidewalk and patio going up to the house, you know. So I'm gonna get digging on this, but that's kind of an idea of what parts I'm using, and then I'll probably just do a cost breakdown on what these gutters cost and the amount of time it takes me to do that. But yeah, this is about the skids, so I'll get on it. All right. Yeah, I was trying to find the best spot to set you guys up. It's just going to be insanely hot today, so I'm trying to beat this in the morning, and then the sun's super bright. But we'll give this a run and see how fast I can get this done. Well, as we can see there, that's one downfall of the 4-foot bucket. I had a gut feeling that wasn't going to work very well, but I wanted to give it a try. I'm going to go grab the smaller bucket. All right, back in action. Not shocking, the smaller bucket is working great. Yeah, I wanted to say too, when you're thinking about this reinforcement stuff on the mini skid, even though I've got the smaller bucket on here, a guy's got to realize as well, I'm probably putting, and I shouldn't say more pressure, but I am putting a lot of pressure on this upper attachment stuff up here, where these supports would come in super handy, because obviously this is insanely hard ground because I've driven over it, and the soil below this has been insanely packed because it's like a gravel sand black dirt mix. So this is super hard soil. So I just wanted to reiterate, just because you got this smaller bucket on here and you're thinking less lifting weight, when you're digging with this smaller bucket, because my dad and I had thoughts of, even when my weld had started to crack on mine, the day before I noticed this, we were digging stumps at the other property, and we had noticed, well, obviously the following day, that it was cracked, but we were digging with the smaller bucket in stumps and stuff. So that's just food for thought on that. But yeah, this is kind of where we're at right now. For some reason I'm hung up here, and I don't know what I'm hung up on. It doesn't want to back up. I don't know if I put too much pressure on it, or see, this is the bad thing about the smaller bucket as well. That's why I was trying to stay to that side versus cutting in this way, but it was so hard I thought I could clean that out, but it almost looks like I'm getting too much crap in my track. And look at this here. See, this is this freaking awesome gravel clay mix, and look at this here. That shit's already starting to pack up on there, and these rocks are getting here. So I wonder if my track's not wanting to start to slip off here. Let me get a view from the other side and see what we got going on here. This is another reason why. Oh yeah, look at this here. Look at that track right there. That's wanting to come off. So I bet you so darn much fill started getting in here and binding it up. So that's just another reason why, when you're doing this this grading stuff with this bucket, and when it's not as wide, so much material starts getting inside your tracks. And I think that's one of the main reasons early on why we were having so much issues with the tracks coming off, because so much material would be getting in our tracks. But anyway, I'm gonna address to see what's going on here. I might set you guys back up on the video here, and I'll see what it takes to get this out. For some reason I thought I was stuck on a rock or whatever, but let me grab the stand. And but that's the other thing, is if you hear something not sounding right, or you hear kind of some grinding on your stuff, I'll get you a video right here, because obviously I can see where that track is loose. Of course, my camera's not really set up for this. Trying to get you in a decent spot where you can halfway see, because I'm curious to myself. I'll drop my tripod down. How I'm gonna get out of this debacle here, because for some reason it wasn't wanting to go in reverse, and now I know why. There we go. We'll see what happens here. I'm gonna fire that up, but look at that track, darn near wanting to pop off. And like I said, that's from material getting in there, not from track being too loose or anything like that. So I'm sure right now, I bet you that spring, I'm gonna go take a peek quick. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on the front spring in there, so it's shrinking up the track, which is good, so we're not damaging the sprocket and stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and see what happens here. Still not on for crap right there. I'm just trying to be super cautious here. I don't want to lose my crap.
Okay, looks like I'm probably gonna come forward a little bit more, and you can see it kind of wanting to go back on those smaller wheels. I'm gonna go forward a little bit more. I'm gonna back out of here. There must be some big rock or something in there. Well, I think there is a bigger rock stuck in there, and I think it might be working its way back in those smaller wheels, because it's once I get to the back there, it's not wanting to come through the front idler. This is odd. Well, I never really saw what the actual obstruction is there, but something obviously got inside on this track, but it obviously must have slid out. I guess you guys can see this stuff right here. There was rocks embedded in this junk right there, because like I said, this is when I first originally had bought the machine and we were doing that test video out in the rain and stuff, and this was the material we're in. And this stuff, when it's wet and stuff like that, yeah, look at this here. See, this start just compressing, and look at all that space that's creating through all the idlers. So yeah, I won't be digging like that anymore from the far side. I'll just have to do that trenching like I was. But yeah, I guess that's a good test video for you guys to even when I would say I'm pretty skilled, almost 70 hours in, you still run into stuff. But I guess it reiterates the stuff we've been saying. Keep the idlers, or the track and idlers, free of debris, because this little bit of debris, this stuff right here, like I said, this packs like concrete, and then it just starts building and building in that track. But yeah, you can see I got a good little trench there. Like I said, I want to go about a foot deep all the way down to there, and I'm kind of past the tough stuff because I can't imagine the rest of this black dirt's super tough digging. But anyway, I guess that's another reason why to be cautious. Don't overwork the track and the machine. If you hear like material or whatever, and you hear slippage or grinding in your machine. But anyway, yeah, please like, subscribe, throw some comments down my direction if you got any. J Bros out.